Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Aisyah binti Muhammad Noor with matrix number 2019407274, and today our group will present to you about Local Authority Ordinance 1996. And I'm going to briefly tell you about what is Local Authority Ordinance. Local authority is known as the part of the constitutional structure of the state government. In Sarawak, they are restricted with the authority as stipulated in the Local Authority Ordinance 1996. On January 1988, the Local Authority Ordinance 1996 had come into force and was determined to amalgamate local authorities' laws and to abolish the prior ordinance Local Authority Ordinance 1977. The ordinance was purposed to handle constitution of any local authority, the organization and composition, for the officers as the implementers, or as stated in the policy for the councillors and operating the daily business of any local authority. In general, it was also concurred part of financial provision for the local authority, consists of audit and account. Therefore, in the year 1997, the conduct and administration of the local authority finance been efficiently managed with the establishment of Local Authority Financial Regulation 1997. It was formulated to control and regulate local authority finances and other activities that related under its jurisdiction. The responsibility of supervisory for local authority is granted to the Community Development (MLGCD) and Ministry of Local Government, instructed to monitor and assure that the local authority doing and practicing their power within the provision of law and not interfere in any ultra-vires beyond power is under the jurisdiction of the ministry. They also possess the responsibility to secure adequate fund from the state of government to be back support in assisting LA to implement their advancement programs and transfer their services to the community. The statutory grants also been received from the federal government to local authority. The ministry possesses responsibility to the 23 councils. And that is all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is AFIZA binti AFFANDI. My matrix numbers is 2019477706. I'm going to present to you about importance of local ordinance in 1996. Firstly, carry out a good maintenance of road and street lighting. This will difficult for the people to walk or get in the vehicle using the roads, which is a lot of holes. This is why the higher ups need to concern about the citizens who live far from the town. It needs to be routine maintenance of all replacement. For example, street lights, road and safety boards to be aware of. This should be complete for comfortable to people. Next, protecting the environment. In Sarawak, culture is strong and does not fade with time even through technologies has been powering it. This is because to control and stop the carnage of flora and fauna for the prevention of decreased damage to the natural resources, rivers and landscape of the protection of environment. And then they have a well-controlled plan development within its areas. This development covers the areas such as social development and physical. This is will focus on the context of physical development that center on estate development in Sarawak. They have the influence development plan on control of properties in any areas such as factors of history, soil location and interaction of resources to affected, which is will appear in the development of the particular area and needs to be controlled from legal aspect also for the process of main development. Lastly, ensuring the areas in the town and city is clean, lively and vibrant. Sarawak is very popular with the clean area and has much the flora and fauna. The government must be ensured to make the rules of take care of the environment. This will also maintain of history things with recreation areas and build up the culture community.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is AIRDINA JASMER, metric number 2019238536, and today I'll talk about benefit of the ordinance to the local government of Sarawak. During this time, Sarawak's local government provided services that were vastly different from what they are now. Primary education, public health, work such as town planning and firefighting, and various other local authority services such as public libraries, recreational facilities, public utility, and to a certain extent low-cost housing facilities were among the services provided. According to this report, education is the responsibility of the state government, and the burden of funding must be shared between the state and local governments. Apart from defining the syllabus, number, and range of classes, regulating the appointment and transfer of teachers and their terms of service, and prescribing fees for all primary schools receiving government funding, it also gave local authorities in Sarawak responsibility for implementing all primary education within their respective local areas in accordance with the report's recommendations. Local governments also offered maternity and child health services to some extent. This service provided domiciliary midwifery as well as antenatal and postnatal care for mothers, as well as health care for all children under the age of 5. During this period of Sarawak's local government evolution, one of the most important services offered by local governments was public works, which included town planning. Local governments were also given the authority to offer parking in streets and public places, as well as to set speed restrictions on local roadways. Sarawak's local government could also restrict the way bicycles were used on the roads. Local governments can also limit the weight or frequency of traffic on public roads within their authority, with the agreement of the State Minister of Communication and Works and the assistance of professional counsel from the local police chief. Local governments also supplied other types of services such as council libraries and village libraries. Finally, local governments also offered recreational facilities. The cost of recreational facilities was covered by a combination of state capital grants and public donations. Meanwhile, in Kuching, Sibu, and Simanggang, leisure facilities such as swimming pools and playgrounds were provided. The colonial administration gave annual capital grants to local governments for the construction or improvement of modest recreational facilities in rural areas.
Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ZAHIDA binti MALEK, metric number 2019441166. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about the general financial provision. The first one is Local Authority Fund and Local Treasury. All funds entered by a very local authority on its generally own behalf under this or any really other written legislation. Such funds may for the most part be invested in any securities that the trustee is authorized to invest in under the Trustee Act 1949, Act 208, or in any fairly other manner that the Minister authorized. Despite subsection 1, the Minister pay for the purpose direct that all funds really retrieved by the generally local government. Number 2 is Local Authority Revenue. All tax, rates, levies, rent, license, fee, and particularly other amount or charge payable to for all intent and purpose local authority pursuant to the authority of this ordinance or any very other legislation shall for the most part be included in the revenue of local authority. It may declare as the result of the local authority with the sort of approval of the State Legislative Assembly marked by resolution. Number 3 is borrowing power. Local authorities generally are in charge of implementing, providing, and repaying existing loans. With the concurrence of the State Executive Council and the subject to absorb of such stimulating and conditions as it considers suitable, the local authority may impose method of borrowing kind of such sum Any fund acquired from the government by the local authority will the foremost part be subject to the upfront fees in the short measure of way. Number 4. Borrowing power for special purpose. A local authority may specifically take out any development for residential, commercial, and industrial companies in addition to the borrowing authority allowed to them by Section 41 and subject to any other established legislation in an actually big way. With the consent of the State Executive Council, the amount at the interest rate and in accordance with the term and conditions specifically agreed between the generally local authority and the individual.
Next, implementation and solution. Firstly is problems. For each establishment of any local authority under government, they must have continual improvement from the time to time to ensure the effectiveness of the insistent give benefit to the society. In Sarawak, there is the FAQIHAH in which system and procedure are put in set to get in process data with the focus and ensuring the measurement be made consistently, known as implementation. Next, by looking for the result, we can clearly see an overview there are some obstacles faced in effort to reach the peak of performance measurement. The deficiency of resources identified refers as the inefficiency of manpower is the main barriers faced by the local authority in Sarawak.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is SITI AISHAH binti SUHAIMI AMRAN. So I'm going to continue the other problem faced by the local government in Sarawak. The other main barriers were the tools applied for performance measurement are too complex and not even user-friendly. We cannot expect for the best quality result if the roots of the problem are not being eliminated. Motivation and skills are the important things that being missed by the administration to train their direct service of their employees, which as consequences lead to influence their inefficiency of the performance measurement in Sarawak. And the other problem is the insufficient time to deliver the prescribed tasks can put employees in pressure. Besides lack of structural characteristic, this will be effect to drive the bad result of the performance measurement. Now, I'm going to continue about the solution can be taken by the local government to eradicate those problems arise. Move to the solution part. These are several solutions could be taken by the local authority of Sarawak. As I said before, as the initial step, the employees itself should be applied with a knowledge on how important their duties and responsibilities in achieving objective of the Local Authority Ordinance 1999 in Sarawak. The biggest part of the succession was also coming from the best quality of employees in delivering the task, and they supposed to know their duties and responsibilities. And the next solution can be proposed by the government to conquer the issue that arises is the method used for the performance measurement for the local authority. It shall be within the requirement and user-friendly for the local authority to improve the effectiveness. As according to Bourne and Mills, the aims and measure to develop naturally during the use of the measure. However, if rampant of this evolution, it may drift to the performance measure go separate ways from the actual strategy. For the closing solution part, local authority of Sarawak must be given sufficient time to deliver tasks as prescribed to the community. This can improve the result of performance measurement by giving the best quality of service with a given period. Quality of the performance measurement can also be measured on the time given to the employees to transfer their duties. As a community, giving them a support might help enhance the efficiency to the local authority of Sarawak. That is all for me. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the conclusion. The existence of Local Authority Ordinance Sarawak 1996 has several parts that need to be improved and put in serious by the local authority. We need improvement time by time to have a good performance measurement. As the goal being successfully reached, the previous set need to be discharged or modified with a new set of goals.